Hello, hi, my name is Chris Fair, and welcome to my channel. Where tonight it's January at 8, not to say 8:30, but really 27 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am here late in the week to bring you Sunday night's episode recap live reaction video to 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. Honey, it's season 5, it's episode 6. 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. That's what we're watching. Do you guys know? Yep, just one long syllable of all those words pushed together, honey. Just like all these, really bad couples pushed together an episode. Sometimes we leave certain couples and syllables off, honey. We don't have time for them all. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we're definitely missing Johnny, and whatever her name is. So in this episode, we don't need them. We don't need them. I'm excited because I get to break down the episode with the loves of my life, so you guys, and I'm so happy you're here. And thank you so much for being patient with me as I sort of just like meander through the week and through commitments until I can sit down and watch 2 hours of this nonsense and then go live. But here's the thing. I have good news. A, you love her, and so do I. My friend Waz here. Hey, yeah. But before I bring her up, just know that we're also going to, before we get into the recap, Juan and I are going to get into some of the cast drama, specifically focusing on Alina and Caleb right now that's happening in the world. So again, not Alina of the Mormon Alina of like yesteryear. We're talking Alina, who is a small person, and she's with Caleb in this season. And there's been, some mess, some drama, if you will. So let me bring in the star of stars of 90 Day Fiancé recaps, besides me, my best friend, Wahim Alina.
Hi.
Wahim Alina.
Christine Farah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a sister sound. Also, like first though, before I move forward, we need to talk about your nails. Are those press-ons or did you let your real nails grow?
These are my real nails. I've been doing dip powder, dip powder, and then maybe like one clear gel on top. Okay. And so they are now. I did break this nail, so that nail I think had in this nail. So these nails are fake, but everything else is real.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you like the shape?
Yeah.
Yeah, oval or coffin, I think is like
almond.
Almond. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally the shape of like one of these things. Like that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see your nails.
I did them myself. I can no longer afford to.
They look great.
Thank you. I can no longer afford to go and spend money on nails the way I used to. I'm being very cognizant because I'm starting the fertility journey. I'm being very cognizant of how I spend my money. And I recently paid off all my debt. So I need to not spend my money where I don't need to spend my money. And really, I don't need to spend money on nails because for me, my nails are so thin and I don't have a long, luxurious nail bed that really, by the time I get my nails done, maybe the 4th time, they're so thin that they actually hurt. So I just went to Sally Beauty. I got a personal gel kit from ASP. And I just was like, okay, I'm not going to file my nails. I'm just going to like do them. I bought a little, like, I have several lamps. UV lamps, LED lamps, and I just use that. And I'll still go get a pedicure, but that's going to be like a once a month luxury. I'm really trying to like tamp down on the budget.
I love this idea, and I love your nails. I think they look great. I would not have known you did them yourself, and they look shiny AF, and they look like they look professionally done, honey.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. And also just like, yeah, Law looks great. Look at like the stain on her lip. Like, like she's really glowing right now. Like we're seeing Law like step into her power this year. So give it up to our girl who's debt-free and here to talk about some just superfluous, dumb internet drama. I mean, it's, it's sad in a big situation, but in the sense, I'm only saying in the sense of like, we are talking about reality dumb people and their business, and the truth is outside of that, I mean, look at you just like killing the game, you know what I'm saying? So more important things. But let's just escape, shall we? So we both love the show, and we've been watching, and we've had quite a journey with Alina and Caleb. I think that there has been a lot of like twists and turns of like, well, who do we feel like is good and who do we feel like is bad or whatever. And then it took an internet so I guess deep dive in her social media to sort of reveal some unfortunate situations and feelings and or attitudes from Alina that we definitely cannot stand anymore. So although we'll talk about it. So what we are talking about is Alina social media posts had been dug up, and they are, let's just say, like, definitely racist tonally, and in a sense that feels very like this person's different or this person's bad, and from multiple races. But we have versions of it, and her attitude towards all of it is sort of like, why is it a big deal? Oh, I'm like Russian. It's like, oh, I don't understand, but like, why is it a thing? And if we have anyone that's like Eastern European, like racism exists everywhere, so it's like, and attitudes of skin color, whatever, exists anywhere. And I definitely don't have any sort of privy knowledge to like how that manifests in Eastern European countries in certain ways. I know Russia, like Russia is huge and sits in the middle of the East. So like half of Russia is like very close to China, which is like in Asia. And then like half of Russia is just like also just like, Czechs and Polks and all those people. So, anyway, let's get in. So how did you become, what was your first knowledge? Was it the picture that I'm going to put up of her like in some sort of like cosplay, rapper cosplay?
No. So the first picture is from what I sent you from 90 Day the Melanated Way. And basically it's her having a conversation.
Okay, you're talking about the screenshots.
Yeah, all the screenshots that I sent you.
Yeah.
So the truth. Oh,
that's not it. Oh, I don't know why this is. Oh, I put up the wrong pictures. Okay, great. That's why all that happened. That's
right. Oh, okay. I'm like, why did you put my horoscope up? So let me just say this. One, for those of people who are reaching out and asking me what I think about Alina, and from the pictures that I saw of the folks who, from their profile pics, everybody who's asking me to comment on this is not Black. And I would like to say first and foremost that you don't get to demand that I have an opinion about this because I'm Black, especially if you're not Black. So I'm going to say that. Like I got a lot of people who was like, why don't you check this? Like, what do you have to say about that? And I'm like, I'm sorry, are you a journalist and am I on a red carpet? Like, why is it that I need to have an opinion about that? Because you don't know how racism affects me. You don't know if I would be triggered by it. Like, just leave me alone. I will answer it in my own due time. Okay, 1. 2, I don't like this narrative that sometimes people who are not American have, where they feign ignorance or they pretend not to understand how racism works. Just because America is built on racism, so we are like at the forefront of a culture that needs to truly understand what racism is, doesn't mean that we're the only country that experiences racism. Other countries weren't necessarily built on racism, and they didn't make laws to hold back people of color. Maybe the closest country that I can think of is South Africa. But like, you cannot say that, oh, I'm Russian, I don't understand that. Because with communism comes a certain amount of imperialism. And if you are Russian, who was behind the Iron Curtain at some point, then there's a certain amount of imperialism. Now, I don't know what the Asian experience is in Russia, and Chris is absolutely correct. There are to me, Russia should be a part of Asia, but like, whatever. So like, the fact that there's Uzbekistan and all the stands that have all the Asian people, and even Russia itself that have the Asian people, like have Asian people in general, Chinese and whatnot, like we all understand what racism is. Now, just because you say it's not American racism, that it isn't racism, that doesn't mean you're right. And so I understand that Alina, being a smaller person, being a little person, deals with her own trials and tribulations when it comes to social interactions, right? But that does not give her a pass from when she understands that a word is a slur. It doesn't, because every country has slurs for different people. It doesn't give her the right to create a whole post talking about, I went to an N-word party. And the N-word party is like, let's pretend like we can't see each other at night.
Wait, can I read it?
Yeah.
Sorry. So this is exactly okay. So let's just get into some of the things. Let's isolate this one. So sorry that my mouse right here. So just so everyone knows, this is a post that she put on Facebook, and she wrote this. Okay, this is very funny and weird and can happen only in Russia, but I got invited on Russian Facebook to an N-word party, LOL. The whole name sounds like N-word party night, become invisible in the night. In the description, they wrote something like, you will get into N-word hood atmosphere, write black music, N-word clothes. There will be waiting for you some N-word competitions, N-word tattoos, N-word costumes, and N-word photo shoot. For those in gangsta costumes, entrance will be
rubles,
300 rubles. Okay, ha ha ha. I'm so sorry. It's just the thing's over. I'm so something. Everyone for writing these words, but this is one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I'm so going, honey, and God bless. And then she did, and then she's like, yo, N-word, got to do some gold digging, like gangsta. She's like, whatever she's saying. Okay, it's just out of control. Sorry, there.
So my thing is like, you said it over and over again, understanding and knowing that it's a slur. And I mean, so glad she didn't go in blackface. It's like literally is one of the like silver linings of this whole thing is that she didn't go in blackface. But the fact that she's like, I'm totally going, I'll only play 300 rubles because I'm gonna dress as a gangster. Like, it's a slur. And if there's no way you don't, you speak full English. And in one of the comments, in one of the like interactions that she had with a person who reached out to her and was like, you need to get in front of this, going ahead and say that you're sorry about that. She's like, well, I never said that. Like, I don't really know like what it means. I'm Russian. And I'm like, we know where Russia is and what Russia is, and we understand Vladimir was Putin. We know Putin. We know that you've allowed a president to be a president for 30 years. Like, that's not an excuse for this behavior, especially when you went on an American show and there's this idea that you have some kind of immunity from it because you are not American. But girl, no, you're also not a person of color. And the other comments said about Hugh Grant and how like she wouldn't be attracted to, I don't know, something because they were half Asian.
Okay, let's just make sure that we say the words, I mean, if we can. Okay, so basically she's saying it's her man crush Monday, like MCM, and she's like, I had a hard time choosing, but but like it's Hugh Grant, like I love Hugh Grant. I mean, which is funny in itself. Okay, God bless. But that's neither here nor there. But then she says, and this is a horrible cutting, but she basically says this: the real Hugh Grant is too old, and even his brother is not a good fit. They look very different, Hugh and his brother. But then he goes, and she's saying, and Hugh's wife is Asian, and all their kids will be kind of Asian. And her response to that is a sad face, and then like a crying despair face.
Yeah.
That's not great. And, like Hugh Grant made the choice to be with an Asian woman and therefore wouldn't be her cup of tea because he picked an Asian woman. Therefore, he knew that his kids would be kind of Asian looking. And she, for some reason, finds that to be like a bad choice on his part.
So whatever that is something that's like unique to Russia. And I don't know if there are any Asian Russians or like, Chinese or any of, because it's weird to say Asian because like that includes like Indian people, but like, and it's interesting to see if there's any Asians like Chinese or Korean or Lao or Thai or anything that are in Russia that feel this kind of innate racism, because I've heard that Russia is racist because they really all they know about Black people is either like US propaganda of like what Black people are, and then like maybe whatever their experience is and with African nations. And so like you kind of expect it. As a Black person, I expect non-Black people to have a sense of anti-Blackness and or racism. But it's interesting when the racism is against a group of people who reside in your country, who must be on the census in your country, who should be in television in your country because they make up a substantial part of your country. So it's just really interesting how that goes on. So I personally will not be discussing this segment of Caleb and Alina anymore. Also, like, one, because of her racist tendencies and her not acknowledging and not even like, this has been out for a week and she hasn't like fully apologized, but also because like 7 couples is too much. So if I can bring it down to 6, I'm all about it.
I mean, that's how the producers feel, because if it wasn't how they feel, they wouldn't ever leave a couple out, but they definitely do. So she did put up this. Okay. I'm sure some of you have seen the screenshot of one of my past posts. I sincerely want to apologize to those whose feelings have been hurt. I never intended to offend anyone. I am and always will be against any form of discrimination. My English is okay, but I'm Russian and there's still a lot of nuances that you learn over time. I didn't know the impact of the word that I used in that post all those years ago. I saw a lot of people on social media using it, so I thought it was like bro or fella, but I was wrong. Again, my deepest apologies to those who are hurt by my words. Okay, here's the thing, and I mean this. Alina, my love, Alina, would you want to go to what if I was like, oh, I'm going to a little person party, honey, little person party. We're all going to go on our knees. I mean, what if I'm going to say horrible things? We're all going to go on our knees and kind of like squat around. And I mean, like I could say a billion things, and like Oompa Loompa music is going to be playing, and can't wait to like I can't wait to like pump official Oompa Loompa music. I mean, I could make an incredibly discriminatory, horrible choice of having a party that pokes fun or somehow marginalizes, an identity that she has. And it would be really offensive. I could make a comedy. If I was 40 years ago and wanted to make a comedy skit about it, you could play a game. What would happen at that kind of party? And it'd be bad. Like the same way, like whatever happened at this gangsta party, what she's saying, like of stereotypes and just like people that are not that, somewhat pretending to be something and not having any sort of like consideration, compassion, or anything for the actual people involved. It's otherworldly. So it's interesting that she doesn't at this point see the similarities of how she would feel if there was a little person party. I'm being nice saying little person, right? I mean, I'm not being nice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I could obviously say a bench. I could say other words. So I guess in my mind, that's kind of difficult. So, and I'm trying to put up as many pictures as she has. It's not that this person is going around, I think, and really trying to be horrible, but this person does not have an awareness that the way she talks about other cultures is not funny at all. Like this one got married today when she's like became a 134th wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a feeling, well, I don't have a feeling. At this point, after watching what I know, Alina is an incredibly insecure person, and she's not alone. And she, I think, wants so badly to feel this like acceptance from peers that she has somewhat like gotten her way into like gay culture as well, with like her choices of music and trying to be in a band and having her band have like disco themed songs. Like she's kind of like a broke down Erica Jane. You know how Erica Jane wants to be like a gay icon? I sort of feel like Alina wants that too, or whatever, with her songs like My P Word Has Wi-Fi. And I mean,
and her P word doesn't have Wi-Fi, and if it is, the Wi-Fi isn't actually connected and it's not streaming because she doesn't understand things that are happening around.
Yeah. It's also, it's a weird also thing. It's just like that whole post is in like English, except for like the parts that are in Russian. Why even? I mean, she's speaking, she's doing like hashtags. Everything is in perfect English. Now, I mean,
There's just no way that someone who has access to the internet and speaks English isn't aware. Like, yes, it does mean bro or fella when Black people are speaking it, but it doesn't mean it when people whose phenotype is white, or those of the class, not the race of people who have taken it upon themselves to think themselves as being superior. It's a different connotation when they do it, and she has to know that. She can't just go, oh, white people in the US are not Russian, they're still American. It's really interesting, I think, how a lot of, like, even British people do this. They're like, well, I'm not racist, like, I'm British. And I'm like, but you, like, are French. I'm not racist, I'm French. Or I'm not white, I'm French. And I'm like, you are part of the colonial world system. If at any point your country has gone to another country and made the people in that other country either rape the resources, rape the people, and belittle the people who live in that place, and put yourself as being like, ooh la la, like, then you are part of that colonial racist structure. No imperialist, no colonialist or colonizer, sorry, not colonialist, no colonizer has gone to a country and not told the natives that they were less than and that their whiteness made them better. Period. So just because Russia isn't going around conquering countries doesn't mean that they're not a part of that European system of colonizers. I mean, they may have done it to themselves. They may have done it to those folk that are in, like, whatever parts of Asia, I mean, Russia/Asia, that are not white or not European, but, like, it still happens. And so it's born from a place of, like, profound ignorance and, like, blinders on, to where you're just like, well, that's not me, I'm not that person. And it's like, no, you are now on an American show, and when things like this pop up, you need to, like, go on ahead and apologize for it. I don't know how long ago that post was posted. She made it seem like it was, like, so long ago, but I'm like, the fact that there was internet and it wasn't put on MySpace, it was put on Facebook. So I'm like, 2010 and forward. Was Facebook even? No, Facebook wasn't around when I was in college, because but it was only for college people. Wow, I'm that old, Chris. I'm
no,
that old.
we are that old. While we are that
So
old.
that I remember when Facebook was only for college people. You could only get a Facebook if you had a .edu.
Mm-hmm.
That's how old I am. So what I'm saying is that her post was after, 2005. It was after that time period. So yeah. So, like, you should have been aware.
Yeah,
That
I
was a slur.
mean, like, I'm going to tell you even this. Even if you were just like, look, I got the internet, I was like 17 and I just didn't know what those words meant. To not immediately be like, you know what, yeah, you dug those up and I just hadn't seen them in a minute and I'm profoundly embarrassed and shamed by them. And I am so sorry. I was just like, when my friends and I were speaking English, like, that's what we said, things I just did not understand. But now, yes, as an adult, and understanding as an adult what's happening in the world currently, I mean, that's like one thing. It's being like, oh, okay, is the excuse that you were like 17 and young and dumb? I mean, I'm not saying it's a great one, but you're saying now, as an adult, we all live in this world. We're all in this world. You're on a television show. You have friends. You're making music. Someone's putting the volume up. Like, you know how electronics work. So
Yeah.
now you know. Now you know that's bad.
Yeah.
Whether you forgot you posted it or whatever, because it was so long ago, fine. But the fact that you weren't immediately like, oh my God, it does look bad. Yeah, you're right. I see what the hell. Yes, of course I can't say that. I'm going to make a statement where I am just like, I'm profoundly embarrassed and shamed. I am so sorry. It's not who I am, and I wish that I could say why I did it, other than I just didn't quite understand how bad that word was, or I thought using an A at the end was somehow, I don't know what she could, whatever. I don't even know. But
Yeah,
she
no,
did.
you're right, Chris. You're absolutely right. I made that post when I was 17 years old, and I was just 3 years into speaking English, and I didn't quite understand because of like the music I listened to. I heard it over and over again. I didn't think it was bad, especially because I'm not American and I'm Russian. So I thought like I didn't truly understand. And I am embarrassed that I said that. And but that her apology wasn't, I'm embarrassed. It was like, I need you guys to understand that it happened a long time ago, but I'm sorry if anybody was offended by it.
At my words.
Yeah. Like, no, that's not what you do. So I mean, Jasmine is absolutely correct. She put this comment a while ago and she's like, wow, looking to trim the fat by any means necessary. Like the truth. Like, I just won't talk to them anymore. I mean, they're boring anyway. I was just trying to make it work because I felt like as a little person, I needed to like support her and her storyline. And I feel like she was trailblazing. But at this point, I'm just like, whatever. And it's like so obvious to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's so obvious to me that one of her best friends is Asian. So like,
So,
okay.
I mean, a lot. I mean, yeah, because Russia is half in the between. So it's like half the people are, like half the people are half or one grand, like it's everyone's everything. At some point, just like it's a melting pot, like Turkey, or like because it's right in the middle of all those cultures, but big, yes. I did feel the same. I'm gonna say yes. When it first started, I felt like I was on Alina's side. Look at that baby. Look at me, that baby. I felt like I was on Alina's side. I know, look that baby away. Give me that baby. Okay, God bless. I felt like I was on Alina's side, right? And Caleb was weird. And then when we had Maddie on with Maddie and Maddie, like really, I think gave breath to like, okay, a different side, which is that Caleb was trying to feel things out and was being honest and authentic. And if people like, if the roles were reversed and some dude was like, why didn't you fuck me the first night? We would all be pissed, and like how we could have some space and compassion for Caleb. And I mean, the truth of the matter is I can only have compassion for as many reality show people as possible if you choose this life or whatever. So I'm kind of like, well, I just kind of went back and forth. I'm like, I will be honest. I would say, even if it wasn't the Selena situation we've talked about now, the tide would be turning for me anyway, because I feel like she uses Caleb as like this weird, like trophy man to literally carry her everywhere, and sort of like objectifies him with her friend, Asian Elijah. Just kidding. Elijah, who, I mean, my God bless Elijah. I mean, if Elijah does ancestry in me, honey, like it's not a bunch of Alinas in the family tree.
I have never been truly on Alina's side. The moment when she told Elijah to not come to the airport and that she was going to force Caleb to maneuver her after he just got out of a 30-hour flight, I said, oh no. And I've been like, no, this is weird. And then every time after that, like her being like, I want him to kiss me and I want to have sex, but then I need to know where our relationship is going. Like the truth is that you guys are both in your 20s. And unless you're planning on doing Stephen and Alina Mormon move, there's no reason for you to expect him to just move to Russia or you to come to the US to get married. Like, that's not a possibility. So right now, you guys need to just take it as friends who've known each other for a long time, but you've had chemistry and you're ready to do, and you're both adults about it. The fact that all of her friends are like wanting to know what his next step is, and I'm like, what do you guys expect it to be? Like, be realistic. Now, I do understand at your age, you don't quite understand that. So I'm coming at it from like a higher understanding because I've been that age. But I like, I get annoyed with women who have sex when they know that if they're gonna have sex, they're gonna get like attached. Like, and it's not even that I know. I get annoyed because I'm like, at a certain point, you have to understand who you are and what you want, and you cannot expect somebody to play by your rules because you think that this is what the fantasy dictates. Like, and you're on a TV show. So it's another thing though if you're not on a TV show. Like, I get it happens in real life every day. But if you're on a TV show and you're like, oh, I need him to tell me what's going on, and everyone's so against him. And I'm like, even in this last episode, I really did feel like Caleb is always very honest and forthcoming about what the things he's thinking. Now, they might be a little bit cringy, but they're an honest feeling, and I appreciate that. And I felt the way her friends were coming at him so hard was unnecessary. And I felt that for the last like again, ever since she, was like, oh, Elijah, don't come. I'm going to show Caleb how to take care of me. And then she's like being mean to him. Not mean, but being like demanding to him after he's just gotten off of a flight. So anyways, that's just the kind of the way I felt about their situation. If you watch my videos, you know that's how I felt.
Yeah, we definitely have some people being like, honey, we knew how you felt. But I started off liking her and it's been like, okay, well, I like her and she's sassy, but boy, does she have a horrible voice, really bad voice. But I'm hoping the burlesque turns out better for her. Yeah, let's get on that burlesque train, honey, and let's close that mouth, honey. Ariel, you are not. I mean, my God, and I think that, look, we all have dreams, we all have loves, and karaoke is so fun, super fun. You know what it is about karaoke? Is that two things happen. Either you pay to be in a private room, which is fine for me, or you don't pay and I have to hear you sing one song a night. And if that one song is fun and I can dance and I'm half drunk to it, then that's really a half a song. And that's all you get, Alina, because honey, you can't front a band. And that's just not, I mean, I don't even like Simon Cowell about it, but hey, like this life is not for you. I mean, it's horrible. I've heard her sing now that horrible PYP song. I've heard sing that live. I've heard the recorded version of it. Don't worry, girl, deep dive. And then because today, for the first time, I went to her Instagram and she has a highlights of her singing. Which was so horrible. I mean, wow, it's bad. She can't sing at all. There's one like of her live singing, like, my first song I wrote. I mean, wow, I don't even mean because it's like the same time. It's like, girl, I get you have other talents. All I'm saying is you have other talents. Bank on them.
That face.
Sure.
With titties.
Sure. And just definitely not your ability to apologize or be discerning or emotional intelligence. None of that. And also like singing. I mean, not one note was there. Wow, not one note. But you know what song I know and love? Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up.
Hey, hey,
thumbs it up.
Hey,
thumbs it up.
Hey.
Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up.
Hey.
Thumbs it up.
Hey.
Thumbs it up. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Sorry, Dad. Yeah, girl, thumbs up this video because like we've been talking for like 30 minutes about, like some dumb internet drama where we're both two fabulous ladies with whole lives ahead of us, but we're doing it for you. We love you. I have tea. Wah.
I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
One, I have to use the bathroom, and two, I have to be at work at 5 a.m. So Thank you guys so much. I gotta take this hair off and jump in the shower and get in the bed.
I love you so much, Wah. And I love you so much, and I'm so thankful that you joined me. And I just want people to know it wasn't like I was Wah's like whitish friend being like, you have to come and tell your opinion to me. You actually told me about this before I didn't even tell you what's happening. I just posted on Vanity Fair, then you came with me. And then, I was like, do you want to talk about this? Only because also, I did have, now you said that, yes, I did have subscribers be like, go live and also bring your friend Wah. You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
that's so funny. Yeah. People are like, wow, what do you have to say? And I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know if I'm triggered. You don't know if I want to talk about this. Like, I don't have to be the Black Caucus. I don't have to be the NAACP at this moment. Like, it was MLK Day this week. Okay. I deserve a fucking break.
Oh
I was a revolutionary in kindergarten. So like at this time in my life, I'm not going to argue on the internet about racism. I was fighting with my white friends in college about racism. I was like living it microaggression after microaggression throughout the 90s and the aughts. So if you excuse me, if I don't participate in conversations about racism, my parents showed me Rosewood far too early. Okay. My parents definitely told me you got to speak properly so they don't treat you differently. I went to kindergarten knowing when a teacher was being racist or treating me differently because I was Black. I'm good, y'all. You know what I'm saying? When I asked about the Native American slaughter in the 5th grade and this substitute teacher looked at me and told me that there are two sides to every story, I said, okay. But with those two sides, there's a right side and there's a wrong side. When I went to high school and that white counselor told me, no. First of all, when I went to a different school in a different school district and sat at the school district with these white men telling me that I was wrong for feeling the way I did, and that the fact that I was being bullied shouldn't have mattered because my grades were still good. And they were so salty about having somebody with good grades leave the school district that they put on my transcripts when they granted me my transfer that I had behavioral problems. Not choosing to say that it wasn't me that had the behavioral problems, but I was stressed out and depressed because of the bullying. So then when I got to the new school, this white counselor, vice principal, told me, when you're at your house, you put your foot on the coffee table, right? And I said, no, I don't put my foot on the coffee table. And she's like, well, hypothetically, if this were your home, you'd be able to put your foot on the coffee table. And I said, oh, sure. And she's like, okay, well, this is not your home. So you can't put your foot on the coffee table. Then my senior year counselor tells me that I don't need to go to Cal Poly. I don't need to go to college. I could actually just go to the 2-year university, the 2-year like JC, Mount Sac instead. That I didn't have to stress myself out by going to a 4-year university.
You never told me that one. I knew about the feet up situation. You never told me that.
Like, I didn't need to stress myself out by going to the university. I don't know. I don't know if you thought I was poor or I don't know. I literally no idea. And I was like, no,
grades, so it wasn't.
No, Mr. Fish, I'm not in life sciences. I'm in biology because biology is what you need to go to college. He's like, yeah, you could just go to Mount Sac. It's like, what? Also, when I got to college and the new professors came in my sophomore year and decided that they weren't going to colorblind cast in the theater and that she wanted Othello to be all blonde women except for Othello, and that they wanted Tartuffe to be all white women because it fit into the French bit of business. So, like, please, I've dealt with racism and microaggressions throughout my entire life. If I choose not to talk about it, I don't need you guys to ask me to talk about it because y'all don't know my experience. So there's that. Good night, Chrissy Farah.
Love you so much, Juan.
I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a fantastic evening. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.
I mean, I love my Wa. It really hurts my heart. I knew about the leg up story. I knew about the person that was like, would you put your foot on your coffee table? And this is such a very perfect Wa thing because Wa, I'm sure her dad was like, no, because Wa would not be able to put her foot up on the coffee table at her home, So like, it's like not like, I can hear that moment of Wa being like, no, I wouldn't. Okay. And for the stupid ass metaphor, what? Well, don't put him up. It's just, I didn't know that. And I knew that the colorblind story, colorblind casting, which really, really, that makes me obviously very upset as well because I was theater arts major, and so we're at the same time or whatever, and I'm like, if in college is when you get to play any part, because like as an actor, then you never get to play a part. I mean, like then like once you're a professional actor, unless you're like exceedingly famous and producer, you only get to play like who someone's going to ever see you in for the rest of your life, like you get whatever, like typecast or whatever, like you just sort of get to play like singular roles like that. And so really college is like the only time as like a student that you get to, like, that is the time you get to play old people and young people. And like, you just get to do whatever it is, God, I just can't. The early, like the 90s and 2000s, in California should not have, like, for a liberal arts theater program, should have been just more understanding or had more wherewithal. It's so heartbreaking to hear how, to me, I relate is how we cripple people's in their endeavors and how things are not a level playing field, because for so many reasons, people don't get to have the opportunities that other people get to have. This is such like a, so yes, as an actor, I can see why like not being able to have like the opportunities afforded to what other people just because the color of their skin fits like a French person, by the way. I mean, that's a slap, like Tartuffe is a slapstick comedy. You know what I'm saying? It's like Moliere, like a slapstick. It's like, whoa, whoa, like, whoa, and going underneath things. It's like that kind of stuff. So I'm saying like, it's not like any sort of thing that requires anything but physical skills, vocal skills, physical, the rhythm of that kind of stuff, physical comedy. That's the skill that, and theater in itself is like stage voice. These are all physical skills, you know? You can't, I mean, isn't like these characters are dealing with, for any reason, some sort of like identity crisis that is empirically important, their skin tone to it. Okay, so anyway, I love you guys. Let's go on and talk about the other people in this episode. So, can you believe the situations that we are now befallen? Now that we're kind of like tiptoed in this season, it feels like we're getting into the muck, right? And so, and I don't know how to wade ourselves out of it. And that really felt true with like Mike and Hamina, Gino and Jasmine. Like we are in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in all of the somewhat charming first impressions are sort of like fading away as we get to see these people for who they are and how mismatched, you know? So I will start with Gino and Jasmine. So, Gino and Jasmine, honey, are the next morning and the next morning of Christmas Day morning. It's the day after Christmas, honey. And Jasmine's still real pissed because Gino gave her an Oral-B diamond clean. Yes, it has a pink thing, so he can tell it apart. And I mean, I don't even know why he needed to make hers different because I don't feel like Gino spends any time in that bathroom, honey. Like, I don't see that man taking showers. I see her showering. She's always showering, but she works out a lot, which is what she does. She like sort of like takes him silently to the gym and she's like pumping iron. Honey, he's sitting there in his, and they won't stop showing it. Sandals, his hiking sandals, his mandals, I hate him so much. I mean, those toes just out and about, honey. She's like pumping. She's wearing gold sneakers. I can't imagine like they do anything for you. But she's, and he's like, how are you? How many sets are you going to do? Is that a set? She's like, don't talk to me. Like, I can't be doing this and hearing your voice. I can't even look at you. I can't look at your toes. That's for sure. God bless. And so then she kind of like is like, look, I hated my birthday present. I mean, Christmas present. I hated it. And I deserve more. So I booked us a fabulous trip to a beautiful island in Panama, where we are now. And I low-key like, well, okay, just so you know, as like a, tourist looking around Panama, like it already looks very tropical. I can't believe how much more beautiful this island's going to be. But she wants a resort, I feel like feeling. But also what she wants, and this is a little confusing, is that she's mad about two things. She feels like that Gino has spent a lot more money on his past relationships, which he's been married. And she just met him. Second thing is, okay, we don't know exactly how much, but it feels like a lot that Gino talks about his ex-wives. Like he talks about them a lot to Jasmine. And I don't know if he's talking about them like trying to be like, and you're so much better than them, Jasmine. Like he seems to have said something along the lines of like, Jasmine, you've done more for me than my wife ever did, or my ex-wife ever did, or anyone ever did. And she like glocks onto that, and is like, well, then you spend no money on me. If I've done more for you, then like I've seen the social media posts of you taking other people on trips. They did less for you, and I got an Oral-B brush. So, what's up with that? And so she's like, again, I'm gonna go. I booked this whole vacation, and you're paying for it. And he's like, how much is it? And she's like, 2,500. He's like, no. And she's like, what'd you say? And he's like, yes, yes, yes. Which is so crazy because it's like, when does he draw the line of what he's going to pay for and what he's not? Because like, he made it okay. He made it seem like $500 was like how could he possibly spend that much money on the clothes that she wanted him to buy, which he absolutely needed. So for him to then be like, okay, 2,500 is actually shocking. At first he says no, and I can't believe he like says yes. Um, yeah, like, but Gino's probably happy to spend 500 at the store, but he's gonna spend 2,500 now. I mean, who knows? So then the conversation veers to her being like, I want you to change your decor of your house. And he's like, why? Because look at him. Why would he change the decor of his house? He won't even change the decor on his feet. What do you want from this person? I don't get it. So she's like, it's ugly. Your ex-wife picked it out. And who picks baby pink and red? Which, I mean, I do kind of agree. Baby pink and red? No, baby blue. I'm sorry, my love. Baby blue. Gino's house, the colors of Gino's house are baby blue, like sky blue and red. Why? Like, okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Like sky blue. Oh, God. Do I have anything red? Yes. And red. Sky. Oh, shit. Oh, I unplugged my thing. Sky blue and red. This actually is, or this is more sky blue, but I guess more it's like a light blue. But either way, what an interesting combination. Because these look more like primary colors right now. You're like, okay, blue and red, is that a big deal? But it is light blue that she says. And I believe it's probably like Caesar's Palace, like the ceiling of Caesar's Palace, like that kind of light blue, and just red. That makes no sense, but nothing in the world does, this world. Why is she trying to change his house from Panama? Why do not do that when you get into the US? I thought that too. I'm like, yeah, like why, like just honey, just like wait till you get there and just make him pay for you to go to like, I mean, Jerome's. Trying to pick like a name of a place that I would think would be like universally known, but this is, I don't know where you're watching this. Just is there a Jerome's Furniture? Is there a Living Spaces? Jenny Leather? Macy's Home Store. Gang colors. Okay, wait. Well, baby blue is not a gang color. I know what you're talking about. The Crips and the Bloods. The Crips are blues. Reds, Bloods. Like Bloody Shoes, like Cardi B. Lowe's. Lowe's, I feel like is more like home. I thought Lowe's was more like Home Depot, but okay. Yeah, she should actually just wait and go there and do other things she wants herself. Like she has, pick the taste that you want. I don't understand because if you don't like it, he's gonna. I mean, are you making this man buy it again? I always want to know like what. Yeah, the people think that people have more money than they do. Why does Jasmine think that Gino has so much money? Yes, he keeps saying, and I think someone else mentioned it, that he had a job when he had a wife. But Jasmine knows, like when she looks at Gino and like sees what he wears, he doesn't look like a person with money. That doesn't look like a person with money. I mean, I'm just saying, like, where's the disconnect? That person does not look like he's caring about the way he looks or not caring about the way he looks, but dripping in cash. I just, okay. So, basically she's like, redo your place. Those colors are awful. And he's like, no, I don't want to. Oh, well, I think they're fine colors, and he thinks they're fine colors because he has no style and no taste whatsoever. Plus, he doesn't want to spend money. He's cheap. But she takes that as he's defending his ex-wife and he isn't on her side or whatever. And all of this, then at one point, okay, so she loses her effing mind, honey. She's just like screams, like, literally, I mean, flames come out of her ears, honey. And Gino, like, pees his pants. He pees his pants. They didn't show it, but we know it. We know it. And he still didn't shower afterward. And those mandals are sticky. Maybe that's why they're always on. Maybe they're just permanently stuck on his feet. Boy, did I wish I didn't say that. Because that's what I'm thinking of now, and I'm so upset that I did it to myself. I'm not happy about it. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so God, just keep talking, Chris. Okay, so then they go back to the apartment, honey. She gets in the shower, which is of course what I want Gino to do, but he doesn't. And he gets in bed. She comes out in her like sundress, goes sits in the other room, and he's like, "Well, what can I do to make this move on from this?" You know, and she just like basically like always agree with me. Never talk about your exes ever again. Always agree with me and do whatever I want. And he's like, okay. Meanwhile, in every confessional, you know, he's very much like, she's scaring me and I don't know about this and blah, blah, blue. And then in real life, he's just like, wants to just lick every part of her butthole and at the same time, not give her a dime. And there's the rub. I can't have compassion. It's hard to have compassion for really anyone on this show. But in this situation, who do you have compassion for? Is she abusive and emotionally crazy? Yes. And is he dumb and like could leave anytime and is sticking around for who knows what? Yes. He's sticking around because he thinks Jasmine is hot. And he knows that when he goes back to non-Panama, the women that he's going to get are not going to be as hot as Jasmine unless he pays for them. And not in Oral-B toothbrushes. Do you understand me? So, I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that, you know, I like can't wait for it to drop that he's like showed naked pictures of her to his friends. And half of me is very scared for that moment because, you know, like maybe she's going to kill him. And we're just going to all watch on TV. And the other half of me feels like, well, I guess Matt Sharp wouldn't do that to us. And, you know, trying to think, remember when Paul and like Korea, like Paul ran off and like, I'm just thinking like what Matt Sharp would actually show on TV. I guess she doesn't kill him because they would be on the show. Also, yeah, like who did he show those naked pictures to, I wonder? And did he show his hot brother, the firefighter, the naked pictures of Jasmine? I mean, I think again, I think I probably said this in an earlier life. I'm assuming he showed his grandfather, his dad, the hot brother, probably the ex-wife, you know. Um he got her, what is this? He got her the toothbrush for maintenance for the dental work he paid for. Okay, is that true? Like, I don't think. I mean, my mind. I'm like, he did. Did he pay? I mean, like, she's had a lot of upkeep. She's had some, you know, and I just don't know. I don't feel like he's paid for any of that. What I feel like he somehow like got that and then expects to just like not even have to maintain it. Men think that they, if they get to be with like a really hot woman, that's it. And I think that I don't feel bad or like I don't feel sympathy for men that don't understand what it takes to be with a really beautiful woman. And okay, sorry, attractive to them woman. If a man is super attractive to a woman, if he thinks that she's beautiful, it will take effort to be with that person. Now, I don't care if you think this person's pretty, or I don't care if I think this person's pretty. But if a man, and we're talking about cisgender, heterosexual in this situation, finds a woman very attractive, overly attractive, where it's obvious this person is like out of that person's league. I mean, come on. Are you an adult? Well, then what are you? Let's talk about it. What do you think? You think you're just going to like give her a toothbrush for Christmas? That you got a 2-pack up at Costco? Because they sell Oral-B 2-packs. 2 packs at Costco. I bought it. No, I know that. Oh, yeah. It's a great gift for you and someone. Buy one for you, one for me. I'm just saying, like that's not the mentality. that you have to have if you are a cisgender heterosexual male trying to continue to be or maintain a connection and relationship with someone, a female that you find extraordinarily attractive and beautiful, and that you know is leagues above you in that way. And if you don't have money, I mean, what's happening here? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Men will go out of their way to give nice and thoughtful gifts to those women. hmm Um, okay, this is my fault. I'm sorry about Liz. Okay, good, Lucy Lane. Thank you. Gino said in his introduction to the show that he paid for her teeth and her new breast. Okay. Thank you. You're getting the New York Mike confused with Gino? You're right, I am. God, you're right. That's what happened. Sorry, Shay. I do get them confused. Oh no, I did get them confused. You're right. All right, my love. Yes. I get it. I'm sorry, my loves. I get them confused. Aren't they like somewhat, they seem somewhat just like men going down, barking down the wrong tree. They're two peas in a pod in that way. I showed the toothbrushes in the bathroom. Yeah, that was a 2-pack, Linda. That was that Costco 2-pack you can get. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. That's that. And again, yeah, I messed up Mike. Let's go to Mike and Hamina then, because obviously I'm like on a similar page. So the Mike and Hamina storyline has like also just like gotten cringier and cringier, where you're just like, Mike, get out. I like Mike a lot more than I like Gino, like as a person. Like I mildly want the best for Mike. What are you drinking, Chris? I know, not that I mix. This is literally tea, but I know I messed up that Mike Gino thing. But yeah, Mike, I think, is a good person. I think that he's, somewhat daft, not making the best choices, because being a loneliness. But this is the New Me organic herbal Desin. Why does it say that? Rooibos chai. It's a warming spices and mellow earthly tones. I mean, I got really into tea, honey. So yeah, I have my little kettle here. It's a little stand. And I have my tea. And I got this thing from Amazon, which I like. It's my teacup, and it has a little like lid, so you can like keep it, like somewhat hot, or you can put your spoon on it, or later on you put it like has a little dish, you can put your tea bag on this. I like that. Every time I make tea, because I'm like a nightmare, I like oat milk. So a little oat milk. Here, honey, she is with her Manuka honey. Here, honey, she is with her Manuka honey. I should call people Manuka honey because it's the best and most expensive kind of honey. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. So fart boy. Mike does seem genuine, I guess. Yeah, Shay. Like, yeah, thank you so much. So where we were with Mike is obviously after the hot springs, which looked beautiful, we all died. Hamida was like, just like quick thing, I can't have any more kids. So they're really going back and forth, just usually, using Google Translate because they can't talk to each other at all. And Mike's like, the next day she like takes him on this beautiful walk, and Mike's not talking, and she's like, "¿Qué pasa?" And Mike's like, "I'm still upset about what you said, and just like for future reference, just like if you get your tubes tied, you can get them untied, right?" And she's like, "Oh, just so you know, again, I didn't get them tied. How do you got them burned?" Cauterized or caught or okay, so no, there's no coming back. Okay, there's no unfolding them. Um, he's like, okay, no more secrets. Okay. Is this it? She's like, mm-hmm. Then Hamina and him go on their little like extra vacation on a vacation, because they're staying at the house that he paid for with like her whole family there. Hamina's clothes are hot. She has like a very, like and Hamina has like hips to die for. And I will say like Hamina's body is like bananas. Like what a bananas body, like she's great. So, in those tight pants, honey, and like her little cut off sweatshirts, God bless. So they go to a beautiful Colombian like mountain resort or hillside natural resort, which looks just like gorgeous, just with like vines and like what just looks super romantic, you know? And they get in the hot tub and he's like, okay, so no more secretos. And she's like, just one secreto. I dated a hitman. I thought it was a tattoo artist. Okay, I thought he was a tattoo artist when I started dating him. So he was just, doing tattoos. And you saw me, I love tattoos. And so I move in, honey, una semana. And then, after that, I find out that he's actually a hitman. And they try to put me in jail. So Mike hears this and poor Mike, because I think that Mike really wanted to come in and save the day. I mean, and that can be said in a certain like white savior way. But it felt like he was just like, I just want to help this woman and her two children and pay for this and come in that. And she's so beautiful and she loves me and I'm so lonely. And she's, I think, really capable of, like having a beautiful life. And I just don't know if you're going to truly get I think you have an idealized fantasy of what Hameen is going to like be able to be with you. And I think that you are going to be really mistaken because I don't know if you and Hameen are on the same page of like how life's going to go. So, one part is really interesting. Okay. So they're talking about the kids, right? And she's like, do you regret coming? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, well, what about my kids? And at first I thought that she was saying like, but if you leave, like my kids are going to be really devastated. And I kind of was like mad at her for putting that on him. Like, dude, you lied over and over again. This man like paid. I mean, I don't want to tell you, Hamina, like, I want the best for you and I want the best for your kids. But like you do, I mean, this man just like paid for your whole life. I mean, all your furniture. And like for some reason your dad like doesn't get it. And for some reason you don't get it. Your sons are like, this man's a savior and an angel to us. And you are a beautiful person, but you know that you're not going to be able to give him what he really wants, which is to be loved. I don't think you love him. He wants a family. You can't, and you don't want to have a family. I mean, more than what you've had, which is your choice, but that's not what he wants. He's talked to you about that. That's why you lied about it. So I'm reading what you guys are saying. Hamina's young, but she's very manipulative, street smart. I mean, I think that I think that she wants certain things. I mean, I think that there's a survivor mentality or whatever. I think that Mike provides a lot. And I don't think Mike's going to be able to get back what he wants. So I just don't think it's going to end well. And because I don't think it's going to end well, I wish that he would cut his losses now and run, like as people are saying, because I think it'd be better for her kids now. Those kids are young. I mean, and Mike's not the father. And if he wants to be the father, great, but he's not. And Hamina, if they're really close to Mike, and this is the first time that they met, the first time, them being really close to Mike, my love, is because you made it so. Because you decided, like a lot of women, a lot of people decide too early on to let their children become emotionally attached to people that they're just dating in their life, that they either haven't met or haven't really like spent a lot of time with. And that seems unforgivable. But also, your girl, is a divorced only child. So, so the hitman thing is she answers, that it was 2 years ago so that he shouldn't worry about it, which we're all like, 2 years. 2 years is nothing. I mean, 2 years, he could have been in jail for a year and a half, honey. Like, like he could have you on like his, I don't know, he could, Do you know that air tags are used, which I love air tags, but air tags can be used to harass people. And I feel like, are there a lot of hitmen out there just like attaching air tags to people's cars and just like tracking them? However, just so you know, I do sometimes because my dad has an air tag. Sometimes if I'm with like my dad's, like if I'm using my dad's like key, his Tesla key or something, um, it will tell me that another air tag is following me that is registered to another user. So that part is interesting. Okay. Um, yes, I don't like that. Getting kids involved with a potential partner too soon. As crazy as Jasmine is, I applaud the decision to not be on birth control and not introducing her kids to Gino. I forgot to say that part. Oh my God. Yes. I don't mean to go back and forth between Mike and Nino, but that was the best part, and I'm so mad. So basically, yeah. So after Jasmine like throws her like hissy fit over everything, which God bless, she's like, "Is it okay if I do something wrong too?" And Gino's like, "What?" And she's like, "Also, I just like haven't been on. I've been on birth control this whole time. I don't want to have kids yet, especially with you." And he's like, "What? Why?" And we're all like, "Why? Why, Gino?" I'll be honest, I don't have faith in humanity then, honey. You're right. I mean, I don't have to tell you. Why shouldn't you have kids, Gino? Why? You have to think about it? Really? You remember this happened? I mean, you have glasses sometimes. Can't you see? You gotta keep your head up, honey. Stop looking at them toes. Believe me, they're distracting. But like, let's keep our wits about us. What do you mean, what? What do you mean that you can't? Yes, you can't have kids yet, Gino. You're like in a horrible relationship. Yeah, it is. It was like a smart decision that Jasmine made, and it was like a moment of logic coming from these two people that we were like, "Oh, you have that in you? Oh, that's like a thing that, like, oh, you get that? Oh, okay, well, yeah. Oh, all right, well, yeah." Um, this is very funny. I'd like Gino to have more than 500 in the bank before he knocks up some stranger. Who's gonna pay for the kid? The fuck are you talking about? You have a job. You don't have a job. I mean, and Gino is like what? 47? Ugh. Okay, so back to Mike and Hamina, like Hamina's like, well, don't worry, you can just raise my boys because they love you and you can't leave us now because I've already, gotten them on board with this and so it's just me and the boys. And he's just like, not what I ever wanted, not what I pictured and hoped for my whole life. Have you talked about Ben yet? No. Nope. So, shall we? Okay. Well, yeah. So, okay. I'm not going to talk about Alina and Caleb and more than what we opened the whole live with, which was 30 minutes of talking about them. And so, but God bless. Gino and Jasmine, Mike and Hamina. We have no Spella, and we have Kim and Usman left, and we have Ben and Mahogany left. And let's do it. So, do you want to talk about Ben? You guys want to talk about Ben or Kim and Usman? I kind of want to talk about Kim and Usman and then like leave Ben to the end because they've already like left Ben off to this whole time. So Kim and Usman, it's the morning of Usman's music video shoot for Zara, which is not about the fast retail shop that we both know and love. Both just me and you, the only two people in the world. But in fact, the other American person that he never met that he was really in love with. Okay. So, I didn't talk about, I also talked about Hamza and Memphis. Ugh. Okay, you're right. I just said it. Okay, now I'll talk about Memphis and Hamza after this. So, Kim and Usman. So, Zara video shoot. Now, this is now 2 episodes in a row where we get like Kim's morning routine. So like if you remember, right, like Kim had the swollen ankles and we saw her like, ice bathing her ankles, honey, and using Maybelline mascara. We all love that or whatever. It wasn't Maybelline, it was Wet n Wild. But in this situation, She has body wash, like a red raspberry body wash from, you know, Designer Imposters. No, that is such a 90s brand from, I don't know, but to see it, to see it, to see that raspberry hued spray go across. Oh, Wa's here. Wa, I just want to say, because I know you're not here right now, did you see Kim's body spray? Because it was not Bed Bath and, oh, sorry, it was not Bath and Body Works. It was like a CVS, just like it was. I smelled it when she sprayed, and she sprayed it, I think, underneath her titties as like a little like freshen up, and I smelled it. It's chemically, not her titties, the body spray. I love a body spray. I mean, I love a scent, but I pick and choose. And I'm not saying that I'm incredibly bougie, but I would say that. But in this moment, my body spray spectrum can really go from like, I mean, a Gina Tay, always a Gina Tay. I like now like a Chimoya or whatever. It's like the Sol de Janeiro, like orange one. Like that bum bum cream, but they make like a body spray for like their like scent, like CH something with like a 51 at the end. I don't know. It smells like salted caramel and macadamia nuts or something like that. And I love it. I think it's like sweet. It's like sweet and sort of like sexy to me. And I like spray it down. I really enjoy it. It makes me feel great. And I feel like this raspberry thing gets sprayed over her and she really gets into it. So while I was listening to me on my way to sleep, could you imagine just listening to this voice to lull you to bed? Just what if I did it for the next hour, just made like white noise for a while, just like shh. Anyway, so Kim gets into this video show and Kim wears Honey Her Soulja Boy shirt and Kim comes in with like hot PA energy. I mean, like a PA's first time on a set, when this person's got to like do it all, like, or stage manager energy of like a ruckus repertoire musical theater summer thing. And Kim comes in, honey, with like gelled back hair, her gelled back, half up, half down, and her shirt and her just like raspberry scented boobies and just like comes in. So it's at this, like they go to they're like running late. That's upsetting her, like he gets to the video shoot and only then is he going to get like some haircut. She feels like that should have happened. None of the people like know what looks he's going to get at all. He goes to shoot the video and they have like some hot ass model, just like feeling up and down. And to Usman's benefit, he does not give this model one hot look. They basically force him, and she does too, by turning his head to look at her, and he like somewhat cracks a smile. He's not into her. And I feel like, I don't know, like it feels like, was that a choice that he made, or he did not like her? Or was he truly scared that Kim would get upset? Because honestly, the more dramatic thing to have done would have been like to bring Kim to the video shoot and then like been like, on his video shoot. Like not even like that, but like, I mean, he didn't even touch the girl. He's just like, oh, Zara. I don't know this song, but let's just pretend like, Zara, I love you and your, pants and your blouses. Oh, Zara, you were better when you were just a European brand, but then you came to America and got bought out and your quality sucks. But whatever like the song's about. There's a woman that he's supposed to be singing to, and she's just like, and he's like, honey, he could be singing about the store because there's no woman in his life. Like, I don't know. So after that, my loves, it's the car ride home. And Kim's like, to his assistant and I don't know, his manager, whatever they're calling those people, that they really dropped the ball. And they're like, we didn't drop the ball. You're like annoying. And she's like, he's pissed. Usman's pissed, and I was embarrassed for him. And then Usman, who like I guess was pretending to be asleep in like Kim's arms, like pops up and then like tells them they're wrong and holds Kim's hand. Love these comments. Usman could have been a brain surgeon. He knows to keep his hand steady. I mean, he did not move. He didn't. What woman? You're extra bougie and elite enough, though. The model was beautiful. I didn't know about this. Kim's mom passed. The one we met. That's sad. God, that's really sad. I like that mom. Yeah, because she loved her mom so much. Aww. No. Yeah, it was weird that he would look at the model. I mean, like, yeah, they were like, because they were giving him direction, like, can you like act like you like this people? Can you act like you are someone attracted to or know the person Zara that is next to you? Even Kim's like, have more energy. Anyway, so clearly Usman isn't attached to Kimbali, but he may have mommy issues. I mean, I don't know, my loves. I mean, we don't even know. What if Usman, God bless him, might not be into women at all, but feels like he has to blobbity blue and bloobity blops to whatever maintain some sort of image. I don't know. And what if he also just like also realizes he does not super into women that much that like might as well pick a woman that's going to get him on television. And it's interesting because I guess they don't all have to be old and white. I mean, the first one was, and obviously the marketed difference makes the couple watchable. But because we already knew Usman, he could have been on the second season, this season, with Zara if he wanted to. I mean, because we already knew him. So if he came to the producers and was like, "Look, I'm doing this new one now. I'm this new American. It's Zara, and Zara's like younger and Black or African American. I'm just gonna go Black American because I don't know which one. Where her lineage is. So that could have been it. He's already somewhat famous, so it would have made sense. But that's not what it is. It's another, older white woman. So it is it seems like it should be. It seems like a choice. How do I say that? Because he's not into her, and I don't know why he keeps pretending to. Because unless he really needed like an on it PA, and he just felt with Kimberly's energy and how she kept saying how loyal she was, that he was like, okay, I'll just have another free person come and help me with this shoot. Because I have a shitty manager and a shitty assistant that aren't gonna get anything done. And none of these people I feel like, he just like casts people in his life. You be my assistant. I'll never pay you or anything. You definitely don't know what assistant job is. You be my manager, but I won't pay you because I have no money. Obviously, I don't have no money because if I had money, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, you got me a PlayStation 2. I would just be like, oh, thank you for getting me a PlayStation 2. I already have one. It's something I really wanted. I'm a dude that likes games. The major game console. Okay. So having said all that, he holds her hand, and then we're led to believe that maybe something's going to happen. But later on, she in the previews for the next episode, she wants to put her foot down, mostly because in an ice bucket, again, she gets really in swollen ankles. So she puts her foot down in the ice bucket, but also to tell Usman that she wants him to sleep in a room. Honey, she's sick of this. After she came and helped him with his fade, and she has to see those turkeys, honey. No, come. You're staying in the presidential suite, the honeymoon suite with me. I still have the swan. It's still wrapped up, and all the rose petals are kind of sitting there. They're dried. So Zara was smart. Is there, at some point, I guess, the internet sleuths, I wonder if we're going to isolate, from Zara, Zara's opinion on what went down. Because he likes to say that, he said that basically, yeah, like he loves Zara. He was really into Zara, but they hadn't met, but she couldn't handle like all of the women in his life, honey, like all the fans, right? Of her, like, and then like she broke up with him, but he had, that was sad. So I would really like to know what Zara said. Like, women were texting her saying that he was like creeping on her, or if I want to know if Zara was ever approached by Sharp Entertainment to like be on the show. Like, what does she think of baby girl Kim and baby girl Lisa? What did you think of Zara? The song. Um, okay, so Memphis and Hamza. This actually is, for me, the worst couple. This, to me, is the worst couple. It is the worst couple to watch. I don't like watching it. I don't like watching it at all. I find it cringy and upsetting. Memphis's voice is grating. And I can't stand every choice that she's ever made besides going to nursing school. And I've read some of the reviews of her like telehealth, and maybe that was a mistake. She doesn't have good reviews. I don't know what to tell you. She just is like. So basically, Hamza is like, look, Memphis, my mom brought up some interesting points, which is basically, I don't know you at all. I don't know you one bit. Who literally are you? I don't know you. They don't know each other at all. So Memphis is like, oh, what do you want to know? He's like, everything. I mean, he doesn't know how to speak English. He's like, your past? And she's like, what? He's like, what, my childhood? Yes. Oh, okay. And God bless says, that her mother wasn't a good mother. Mother was on drugs. The mother's not on drugs now. The dad, really bad dad, drugs, in jail for a long time. And Hamza, is sorry to hear it and sad and comforting towards her. And then it's revealed later in a conversation that Memphis was having with Hamza's sister that he's like a year and a half or 2 years younger than he said. And she like blows up. And she's like, I can't marry you now. I can't marry you. Like, you lied to me. Like, we're supposed to get married tomorrow. And it's like, oh, you absolutely should not get married to this person. Yeah, you don't know this person at all. He doesn't know you. You don't know him. You don't know how old he is. You don't know anything. Yeah, no. She's like, I don't want to have someone come and be like, so young and have to be like raise another child. And it's like, well, then why are you bringing someone from another country who's so much younger than you then? That's just basic. Yeah. Okay, what? She's like, well, at least did he have his career in air conditioning? Did he get his diploma in AC? Okay. Here's a certificate. Yes, he got his diploma in AC cooling for his career. So does that make you happy? Are you happy with that? Is that enough for you? I mean, it's so crazy. At one point, I like this. Hamza's mom like does not get why Memphis is upset. And she's like, she shouldn't be that upset. Now, to Memphis's, I'll be honest, I'd be upset if I was dating someone for a long time and then they lied about their age. I would be upset. But I would also kind of be a little upset at myself because what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. Memphis responded to another 90-day YouTube commenter saying that those reviews are from people who wanted a prescription that was not for them and wanted more than what they can have. There was one review that said that, but other reviews were just basically being like, she's really mean and really cold, and just like kind of just like spouted things at me, and it had like no bedside manner. And when I hear her talk, I can hear that. I can hear her just like not understanding, or just, she doesn't have the wherewithal. I don't know. There are beautiful service industries that do good for other people, right? Like nurses, like therapists. like psychologists, like psychiatrists, like doctors, like lawyers. But men and women are fallible. They're just messed up. We're all messed up with our own traumas and stuff. So, in order to be able to like really be of service to someone by taking them in as a full functioning adult without your own loud grievances or your own small-mindedness, it's not something for everyone. It's not something everyone can do. I don't think in all what I've seen of Memphis that she is someone who is going to make smart decisions for herself, and therefore why would I think she'd make smart decisions on behalf of patients? I'm not saying that she hasn't, but I could see it would track to me from what I'm watching that she wouldn't. I mean, what can I do? What can I say? Am I being mean to you? I mean, I'm being mean. Tell me. This person has had to go through extraordinary trauma in this person's life that this person has not done any work to be able to live functionally and make the decisions to move forward like one should. Instead, she's grasping, right, at like wanting to be in a relationship with a 20-nothing-year-old who just texts her good morning and sexy time. That's it. Meanwhile, other things happen this episode with Memphis, which are just disgusting. I've gotten a little prissier as I've gotten older. I've just gotten prissier in the sense of, yeah, I don't want to see Gino's feet. That's disgusting to me. And I don't like when people belch out loud. Like I don't get it. I don't like it. I think it's just you can absolutely keep that to yourself. There's just certain decorum for social grace. I mean, as well as like I can't imagine like being so base in conversations and allowing like every weird like I mean I don't know. Should basically tell this is this. She's like, I have to poop. I gotta poop. She's like keeps saying that, and then she just goes off, and we hear a bunch of noises, and she's like, I mean, she acts like she comes out, honey, like she acts in this BM drama of hers like she is a trucker, honey, that has like eaten their way from Philadelphia to San Diego and every C-graded truck stop restaurant, and they're going through it in the gastroness. Like she is just so loud with that. And oh my god, I'm like missed out of what you guys are like. It's not the word. Is there people talking about what are people talking about? Like meeting your significant other here? I can be a matchmaker here. Are you a matchmaker? Yes, matchmaker. And then she says, oh, it's not the worst place to meet someone. Chris exudes a positive atmosphere and can meet your life partner here. Oh my god. I know. I just like it's not for me. So it's like okay. I want good things for Memphis. I want good things for Mike. I don't want to ever have to watch Memphis anymore, though. I truly don't want to watch this couple. My heart, like I'm a good person, and I'm so sorry, honey. I really am sorry for her that she like with the mom and the foster kids, and I'm happy she has that foster sister that's like her sister, but at the same time, like I don't think we have to watch everyone, and I can't listen to her voice, and I can't watch her make these decisions, and everything she says, I'm like, girl, no, you. Like, I'm not mad at Hamza. Hamza's a 2-year-old mama's boy who's gonna lie to mom's face, and the mom knows it. I mean, just like, yeah, it's not for me. I can do nothing for these people, like I don't think that there's no positivity here. And it just makes me uncomfortable. So, yeah, why did you announce it? I mean, that's like one thing, but I think there's just overall, like, I am somewhat surprised people like to what just feel comfortable. It's like it feels like what she's doing that to be overly comfortable with someone to get to this security of them that they're in a relationship and a marriage that's unbreakable by so that she doesn't have to fawn or play at being like in a courted situation. She's like, we're already past that. We've been married for years, so I leave the door open when I go to the bathroom. Like she's like to that point, and Hamza's like, no, you don't even know how old I am. I lied about that. You don't know me. um, I know. So okay, so this is a whole other thing. She encouraged him to lie to his mom, and he does. And why? She's surprised that he lied to her. Yeah, you get him like you lose him like you get him, and it makes no sense in this situation. Also, yeah, like literally, Hamza's mom's like, you sleep in this stupid ass living room, and then they both heard that, and they both made the decision. Memphis excitedly for Hamza to go against that even though it was so clear that that's what the mom wanted, and then watched as Hamza lied to her, the mom, and then is like, you lied to me. Lala Kent met that Randall Emmett person while he was married to the wife, his ex-wife, and the mother of his kids. And then she gets whatever, like breaks up with him and is like, he cheated on me. And it's like, well, all right, Chloe, tell us about it. Chloe met both Tristan and Lamar when those people were with their baby mothers and or wives. I can't remember. I'm only saying baby mothers. I can't remember if either of them were married to those people. Okay. Chloe breaks up both those situations and then gets cheated on by the men. And then what we're supposed to feel bad for Chloe? We don't. No. Oh, no. Not at all. What do you think you're special? You're not special. So, um, yes. The answer is Iowa. Iowa. He's a Tunisian Caleb. Ah, yeah, I sometimes wish Hamza, I wish we could see a little more of Hamza's life, like Hamza's friends. Like we saw like that one hot friend, but like I think that, I don't know. Maybe there's just not a lot to Hamza. So it's like, even if we did get more of his friends, I wouldn't be like engulfed with a personality that would truly make me feel like this person's charming. I just feel like this person's like young, dumb, and full of young, dumb, and full of Mumford and Sons. Hmm. Young, dumb, and full of just right. Just like not like hardly a brain because it's filled up with something else. It's just squirting out of his ears, and his poor mom just like sees it, just like the whites of his eyes are the whites of everything, just like, can you imagine what she has had to like wash out of the sheets, the farm animal sheets or whatever, the weird sheets that she changed, the bed that's usually his bed. Ugh. Why do I keep disgusting myself this live? Okay, so this puts a big wrench in whether she has to get the sister to show her the diploma to like see if she's gonna like believe Hamza again, and I just hate her so much. So last but not least, the couple that we've been waiting for their debut, honey, and it's Benjamin and Mahogany. Benjamin is okay. Benjamin is a model, and he looks completely different in those modeling shots than he looks in real life. I mean, it looks like a different person, and I wish I had a picture. I'll get it for you next time. But I just was so shocked. I was just like, it looks so different. Like his hair color looks different. Like his jaw looks different. Like when you see him head on, like it can't possibly be the same person. But he says it is. So, I guess, listen, this happens to, I mean, this, I guess women do this too, right? Like, Aubrey O'Day doesn't look like what Aubrey O'Day thinks Aubrey O'Day looks like. You know what I'm saying? This person is modeling, those are two different people. But um, airbrush, I mean, more than it looks like a whole different person. So Ben is the religious. So true. Uh, there are a huge amount of gross men this season. Oh, I love. Okay, you're talking about Hamza's sister. I love that. I love that Hamza's sister. Okay, Benjamin is an idiot. So okay, so basically, Benjamin was in a religious fringe cult of a Baptist Christian faith. Such great words there, right? Fringe cult, great words. When he first started talking, when they first were kind of like hinting at a storyline, I just assumed it was like an LDS offshoot, and I was wrong. I don't know a lot about fringe Baptist conservative cults, but I'm now fascinated. And if you know a documentary, honey, you can point your girl into that direction. She'll go running. He was raised in this very intense religion and becomes a pastor and has a youth director there, and that becomes his wife, and he has like a plethora of kids, and their marriage isn't a marriage, and so they couldn't get divorced because of their crazy ass religion. So it feels like he steered his family away from the religion, tried maybe to book a counseling sesh here and there, but it was already done, he said. And he divorces his wife, breaks up his whole family, and then has a full midlife crisis and doesn't know it. This man can't see past the end of his nose. This man wouldn't recognize himself in a mirror. I mean, this man is out of touch. Everything he says, you're like, what? I'm not having a midlife crisis. I got this bike a month ago, and he's wearing like a white wife beater, honey, with like, I mean, I swear to God, like Exxon Mobil that he just put on his like face just to like look like, I don't even understand, like Stanley. I mean, I'm just like, this man, oh my God. So then he also is like uber super obsessed with his body, which I know that he's a fitness model, but like where he's weighing, probably his foods, and he's like thinking about all the macros, and he's like pinching his like waist with like a body fat meter. Okay. I think that, look, I have never been someone who is like 100% like a Jasmine. I've never been someone who like weighs my body fat in that way. Like I'm not someone who's like going to be in a competition festival, like, or whatever. Like I couldn't care less about my body fat percentage once I'm in a healthy range. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I want to be in a healthy range, and I am in a healthy range. And, if you know my story, you know that I used to have I used to be, no, I definitely have weight problems, and I used to be much bigger, and God bless, I had surgery and I lost a bunch of weight. This is like 2017. It really changed my life. And I think it's great. I've somehow like thankfully managed to keep majority of it off except for 20 pounds. It's fine. COVID. It is so unattractive for me to have a man like so obsessed with like body fat, like on his body. Obviously would also be incredibly unattractive if it was also an obsessive amount of like body fat in my body. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't, I also just like love, you know, eating and wine and drinking and cheese. Okay. So I'm happy with the balance that I've struck. I do love working out, and I feel like I eat healthy, like I try and balance things, and I just never want to be someone who's just like, ooh, lost 0.5. I just can't, I just like it would, I just can't live my life that way. It's not life. Like I have to enjoy myself and like feel free to experience the things I love. And sometimes I go in and out of like, be like, okay, I'll just like be healthy this for the next 5 days because I know the weekend's coming, but it's like that, you know. Anyway, so no, I think someone else asked if I would be with Ben, and the answer is absolutely not. No. They check your BMI in Japanese schools. Another BMI, I think that there's like, you know, people that would be like, oh, BMI isn't everything when I get it. Like, I'm not, all I'm saying is it was like exciting for me when I got into a healthy range of a BMI. So I was like somewhat cognizant of it just to be like, when does it happen? Oh, good, it happened. And now I'm, you know, I mean, listen, your girl went from like morbidly obese, 40 BMI down to like 25. That's great. You know, like that's enough for me. I'm happy. You know, I can't micromanage that. Oh my God, Marianne, thank you. Thank you so much. Hi. Did you just join? Yes, you did. Oh, I appreciate that. Happy New Year. Hope all's well. Thank you so much for my super sticker. um, anyway, God bless. Okay, so I love you. Thank you. Um, Benjamin goes out with his friends, and okay, well, Benjamin, so anyway, sorry, let me say this. So Benjamin has met this person named Mahogany. Okay, Mahogany. It's been like 3 months. Okay, he went on a dating website, honey, met Mahogany, honey. She lives in Peru, honey. And like once that happened, he's been like Duolingoing it up. And I don't know what stage he's on, but like but he's not doing good. He doesn't understand not one word, honey. And I don't know if he's trying to test out of Spanish, but like I don't understand he's at a level that's so far off from him that he can just be saying like, amiga, mañana, Aranje, you know, just like those are words in not one sentence. He goes up with his friends and he's like, look, I met this girl and she's younger than me and she won't video chat with me. They're like, what? You know, like they're all like so disgusted. They're all like, there's a one couple, there's a guy sitting next to him. I don't know who that person is. There's a couple, husband and wife or something like that. I mean, this husband and wife is like, what happened? Won't video chat with you? Okay. Oh, she sent a video though to prove it's her. Let me see the video. And the video is like, okay, wait. What is that? Okay. There is an AI influencer that I talked about once, and I was really upset by her. Like Maluma, not Maluma, that's like the rapper, but there's like some other AI influencer. I don't understand. Like, okay. I don't know who's behind her, but for some dumb reason, they made this a completely fake person that has an Instagram profile, and then like somehow they would do things where like real celebrities would take a picture and they would like superimpose the fake AI teen influencer onto it. Okay, do you know what I'm talking about? Someone say the name. I remember when I first found about this, I knew about it. It was like disgusted by it. Like it really like made me upset. And then like I like put it out of my mind. But the pictures of Mahogany look like this artificial Instagrammer. I mean, it's like, yes, filters, hyper Lightroom. I mean, it's like, they look like pixelated Pixar. Oh no, that's not real fakes. It's like it's literally they made an influencer like Paris Hilton, but her name is like, I'm gonna look it up right now. Her pictures are nothing, and this video that she does of him is like could be so faked out. And then of course he's like, yes, I gave her money, but it's a loan, and it's $1,000. And people are so like, McKay, this is the person's name. Michaela. I'm Iquela. I hate it. They made an influencer they're trying to be like, right? Okay, yeah. It made me really upset, but like all these pictures are fake, right? Like because this person doesn't exist, right? Like this person doesn't exist. But like this is what Mahogany looks like. You're like, that's not a real person. That's not how faces look. I don't understand. So if that scene wasn't good enough, then honey, we get this crazy ass scene, my loves, where Ben has decided to like bring his whole family including his ex-wife, to talk about the fact that he's going to go to Peru to meet Mahogany Honey. And he acknowledges that he blew up his whole family. And after he blew up his whole family, ruined their whole lives, he started dating like a really young girl. And she was really mm, um, possessive of his time. And he was just like so into being with this like hot young girl that he just like didn't see his family for like a real long time. Just dived into that like fresh 21-year-old's swimming pool. Wouldn't get out of the deep end. And his kids, felt it. He was, I mean, like, I hate that. So because of that, he's now going to invite them all over and include his ex-wife to tell them about this woman. And the ex-wife is coming because he feels like she has um, the right to know who's going to be around his children. Now, I agree. But, I mean, couldn't that also be a conversation or a phone call or, I mean, a letter, an email? I mean, I'm just saying. But he does it. He brings them all in. He hugs one kid. That's it. The wife comes in and she hates him. This wife hates him. He's like, oh, I think my wife still resents me because of the divorce. Can you imagine like seeing this like fuck face? Like I can't imagine. Just like he blew up your whole family, made you leave a religion when he probably had like no. He knew probably in his heart that he just wanted to divorce you, but probably like lied to you that there was going to be like counseling and steps to right this, and he didn't. I detest Benjamin for the reason that I detest oh god, Stephen, of Alina and Stephen of Toe, or mostly the reason why I really have a hard time with most deeply religious men who make personal decisions that affect others because they are quote unquote following God or following Jesus, when it's incredibly obvious they are making a horrible decision that in their mind they know that is not like quote unquote for Jesus. There's no way. There's no way as an adult man that like was a pastor can understand. Like, I mean, no, no. Jesus is not telling you to like bang some fake looking 23-year-old from Peru. No. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but then again, what? Like, are you gonna say like, what Jesus came down, honey, with an archangel and told you had to be with that woman? Okay, Mary. All right. Is that what it is? Thank God the ex-wife calls him out. Because I also just like, I bet that man used that excuse. This is what I feel like God wants for a lot of bullshit that woman had to deal with. Just like a Cody Brown. I every religion is different, and none of them are perfect because no man-made thing is going to be perfect. Man or woman-made thing. Men and women are not perfect, although women are more perfect than men, and we know that. And I've been raised deeply, deeply Catholic, so. And the weird thing is, in some Eastern Rite religions, priests are allowed to marry and stuff like that. But in non-Catholic, uh, religions that are Christian based, pastors can be like rich, and I have pastors can, like I think that I understand a nice. I think that I like the idea of priests being able to marry in the Catholic Church. I'm gonna say that right now. I do think that's great. I actually would support that if that was going to be a thing. But I don't think that if you are going to devote your life to God and lead a congregation that you should be like involved in the earthly desires. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that poor, yeah, the poor woman, she's been through hell with that man. She wears it and she wears it sadly. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Half of me just wants to like be like, girl, you've been through it. And I'm just like, I want to like take you under my wing and just like, you need to like shake this man off and you need to like find yourself and your power and like F this man, like counting his macros. So I would love the kids. I would love the kids to know if that he gave them money. I wish that the mom had like found that out too. Um, the kids are like, are you going to go to Peru? Like that's the no, like no, we don't want you to do that. And he's like, no, no, she's going to come here, but this is what God wants, and don't worry, like she says she loves all of you kids, so she's not going to keep me away from you. She says she loves you all and prays for you all the time. So that's why she's into God. Also, just look at her; she's so hot. I'm Catholic. I do think that priests will be allowed to marry one day. We're running out of priests. Oh, me too. Me too. I think yeah, absolutely. Um, I agree, Chris. I'm not Catholic, not religious, but agree that they should allow priests to marry both men and women. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. And I 100% think that the Catholic Church should allow women to be priests. And there were in the Catholic Church early female priests. We don't talk about that because at one point the church just, well, whatever, there's a lot of politics. There were women priests, and there's not now. And there are some Eastern Catholic and Eastern Orthodox, definitely, people are allowed to marry. In Eastern Catholic churches, you're allowed to marry before you have your final seminary rites. No, I think they totally should. But it's always been weird for me when I think of like pastors and like, I don't know, just being too like into worldly pursuits and money and fast cars. Like I can't, there's like, I don't get mega churches where like these priests have like or not priests, pastors have like helicopters and shit. Like I don't get that one bit. 100%. But you know what? This is just religion talk. So Mahogany, by the way, okay, let me say this. So he's going to go to Peru and, take the 3 words that he learned on Duolingo and all the shame that's heaped on him by his ex-wife and kids. And for some reason, he can't see any of it. And he's just the dumbest person. And in this situation, you're like, of course, this man's going to keep dating young people because he is dumb. He's not young, dumb, and full of humamama, as I said before. He's old, mold, and I think he should fold. His cards, just like, I don't know. Listen, you're gonna have to date someone that you think that you're gonna have to date someone who your family's gonna like because you blew up your family. So if you want your family in your life, date someone your family's gonna like. And someone your family's gonna like is not gonna be like around their age. And probably gonna be someone that like exists in reality. And also gonna be someone who's like probably maybe has some kids. But but any woman of substance who's like lived and experienced things and can see past the end of her nose wouldn't be able to be with someone like Ben. I mean, if I saw Ben's, if I was on a social media dating website or whatever, dating website, and I looked at Ben's modeling pictures, I'd be like, oh my God, what is Zaddy? Oh my God. Whew. Hi. And then if Ben showed up, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I have a headache. And then I would leave. Yeah, that man kind of scares me, I guess. And I feel so bad for his wife, and feel bad for his kids. And he's just like, sometimes it's just like so like, oh, you don't get one F, and you don't know how dumb you are or how dumb you look, and it's embarrassing. It would be cringy if he was my dad. It'd be very embarrassing. I forgot to say this. So on top of like basically everyone being like you're being catfished because she won't talk to you. She like won't video chat you. Not only has he already like been burned by dating an actual too young for him woman, but he actually also has been catfished. And yes, by an African man, a Williams. Honey, he got Williamsed. Or he got what happened to Mary. That was a woman though. Something about, I mean, whatever. A lot of people get catfished, but like, boy, can it really happen to like fundamental Christians? Horrible. Over and over again. You liked that? He got Williamsed. But like Mary Brown obviously had the whole thing where she got catfished too. And I mean, I will talk about sister wives for the rest of my life, So Mary Brown, Cody Brown, that catfish situation, Mariah, truly, all of it. God, this season. I'm not even watching, but I feel like I'm getting what I need through osmosis. Like I know that Christine's out. This is Sister Wives I'm talking about. And I also know that Janelle, like at one point, tells Cody to F off. It's what I've been waiting for my whole life. Nothing better than that. My God, it's almost 2 hours. So this was overall not the greatest episode. And this is why, because it's been so good thus far, right? I've been very into the season thus far, and this season, in this episode got bad. It got cringy. It got cringy for the fact that I actually don't like watching Memphis and Hamza. And then it got cringy, because the situation we talked about with Alina's racist post in the beginning. But like I said, if it wasn't for all of that, I still would be like, I don't understand. Like, this is such a weird setup between like Alina's like mentality of like how she wants Caleb to be with her, as well as like the Elijah thing, as well as like where Caleb is, and it just seems like Alina's dumb and doesn't have it has a really immature view of what a relationship can be and will be. And I feel like Caleb is just, as I've said a billion times, this live, young, dumb, and full of blobbity blue. And I sort of want to wash my hands of them, and I sort of want to wash my hands of Memphis and Hamza. Both those couples are what? Immature horn dogs that are not compatible sexually or in what they are idealizing their like betrothed roles in their lives. Like Memphis's idea of what Hamza's going to be when Hamza comes to America is me and you looking in each other in our eyes right now, being like, nope, not even. That's crazy. What you're thinking that Hamza's going to do is what? Come be a dad to your kids at 25 and like, make millions as a career, his BA in air conditioning. He can't speak any English, honey. You also can't speak any Arabic, honey. Okay. And then also, yeah, like Alina's very horny, and Caleb, I think, usually a horny person, and maybe that's like, I think that they're both horny, and like I said, want to experiment with each other. And she's like trying to like experiment with finding, like a caretaker and slash like body building or like bodyguard prince. One of those people that like a foot, and also the foot soldier, like a footman, like one of the men that carries the queen like on his back, I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that is this what it is? Is this what relationships are? Just people projecting unrealistic expectations on others and wanting them to fit their squareness into a round hole. That's something that happens, right? Because we all know what we want in life. And so when we start talking to someone that we connect with, we can be like, oh, I hope this person is cool, is smart. I hope this person and I laugh at the same jokes. I hope that this person would be into this or whatever. So you sort of like start to build a fantasy in your head when you have a connection with someone. Once you start talking about a band you both like, then you might have a fantasy that you'll go see that band someday, not knowing that that person is afraid of concerts. I don't know. It could be a billion things. But what happens is that you and I, and hopefully people that have emotional intelligence, can start to realize what red flags are when things don't line up. When you start to hear, it's more so about this. It is incredibly important when you are dating to shelve your projections of your idealistic relationship, to be with the person and see and feel and hear what they are actually telling you and giving you. They'll show you who not only they are, but by their words and behavior will show you how they feel about you, and will, if you listen, even let be known what their values are and what their wants and what their goals are. And if they share in their past, you can track how they behaved in the past to ascertain their past goals and wants. Have there been past goals and wants? Have they ascertained some of them? Have they worked to get the things that they wanted? Has the things that they've wanted made sense for them? Is their emotional intelligence right? For you, on the same level. Hamza and Memphis forgot about that. They can't even have a serious conversation even about religion or anything else other than sexy time. Yalla. Wait, Lisa. Aren't other countries' diplomas written in English for our convenience? Unless specifically translated from original language by either an embassy, consulate. Nope. Consulate, yeah. Kush kitten. Did you talk about? I don't know. Well, I can't see Kush kitten. Oh, there it is up there. All the races coming out of Alina. I know, my love. Yeah. We talked about it for 30 minutes while I was here. Yeah, so in Vanity Fair on like last week, I think before this episode posted, they had just had this picture floating around the internets, right? So at first it was just like, it wasn't even that one, it was just this one. And then I posted that to Vanity Fair, and then like without any sort of like context, like there wasn't. I didn't have an article yet of like Starcasm or Celeb Dirt or Soap Dirt, where the hell they are, just like talk about what happened. Also, of course now the 90-day stuff, like these news stories are like come about by like internet sleuths doing the journalistic dateline work online. So basically this picture gets reposted and then she starts to go DM people, and we had said this, and and starts to like basically go through DMs and be like, someone took that picture and why are you reposting it? And I didn't even know why people are making, why is it a big deal? Because I am Russian, I grew up in Russia, and I'm a minority, so I'd never respect other minorities. It doesn't make sense. But like, and then came out with an apology again that like said she never intended to offend anyone and that her English is only okay. And I guess I will only speak to my point at the end of the day, which is like, you knew that these posts were coming out and your answer is, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. You have posts where you say the N-word repeatedly and you're dressed like whatever you think that person is. You say gangster. You have posts where you like talk about being sad that Hugh Grant, the love of your life, would choose to be with an Asian woman because then he would have Asian kids, and that's sad to you. You wish that he would choose you instead and have your kids, I guess, and your kids would be more or be better in your eyes than Hugh's actual children with his wife. Oh, okay. We talked about this a lot, like how she would feel if she went to a party or she heard about a party of people making fun or trying to act like little people or using even worse words than that. But the thing that really was just like other, I mean, I know I said this already. The thing that was just like, well, girl, like, just to be honest, like, even if you, yeah, you did all that back then, even if you could have just been like, yeah, I did all that, how dumb and how stupid, and I am embarrassed. And it was a different, I just was a different young, dumb person, and I didn't understand what those words really meant. And it was just, I was really offensive. I'm so sorry. I hate it. I hate those came out. But that wasn't the tone of the apology. The apology was like, it's offensive? What? Girl, it's 2022. Even fake Michaela, the AI person I hate that I just showed you, even her Instagram bio says hashtag Black Lives Matter, which of course I could just like say a billion things about because it's a fake person that they're trying to like, use a hashtag. And by the way, their fake AI Michaela is not black, which is fine, God bless. But it's just like, I don't know. That person, that AI robot is also weird to me. Um, that's crazy because Alina's mother looked Asian. Yeah, we talked about, we also, yeah, I mean, the ethnic region of Russia is like, a melting pot like Turkey. Um, yeah, I also, yeah, did I see the other post with her in the sari? Yes. Um, yeah. Elijah looks Asian. We talked about it. Elijah looks Asian. He's an Asian looking man. Very, like, I'm not quite sure, but I don't know. And she can't sing. Okay, so I've said everything I want to say about her. Yep, yep. Um, that's it, my loves. That is 2 hours of me talking about a 2 hour show. It's actually now 2 hours and 5 minutes. I talked longer than the show with commercials. It's crazy. I'm going to go. It's 10:30. But I'm so thankful that you guys have been patient with me, and I hope you enjoyed this long as live. And Juan and I go in and we talk, and I love Wa so much, so I'm really happy that she shared some of the things that she dealt with growing up, as well as, yeah, we had talked about this, like this Alina situation, like sort of broke like around Martin Luther King Day. It's just like not the time. Oh, God bless. And also, yeah, like this dumbass post from like 7 years ago. What a dumb thing to just not understand and like it is hard to be self-reflective and see yourself in relationship to others. And defensiveness is something that is like a reaction that takes you away from the connection to not only others, but to your true, or no, to your better aligned spirit. Not being defensive doesn't allow you to grow because it puts up a wall to like what others are telling you, which is that you have some work to do. You need to see something that you're not seeing. And when you get defensive about someone showing you that, you don't get to do the work. You just compartmentalize. No, no, it's this, it's that, it's not that, it's that. Like, oh, okay, but and in the end, you are just you're only infantile. You are only like keeping yourself from your growth. You're only like shooting yourself in your foot. You're only like doing the injustice to yourself because wisdom is a hard thing to come by and self-reflection is a hard thing to do, but it isn't like you have to do this hard work for yourself. It helps you connect to others and understand others and have empathy for others in a way. It's kind of this weird cycle. So, and listen, I want, if Alina wants to position herself as someone who's going to be an activist in any way for like any like people that need to be seen, whether she wants to be like an activist for disabled people or whatnot, or small people, she has access to be able to talk on behalf of both marginalized communities. And so if someone gets to have that power, then you want this person to be able to see others the way that she wants to be seen. She wouldn't want to go to a party with a bunch of people acting like how funny and how cute little people culture is, or whatever it is, or disabled people. It would be great. All right, well, I love you guys so much, and let's take a breath together. We did it. Wherever you are, thank you for listening for 2 hours. I really do appreciate it, and I really love your guys' engagement. I love you for being here. Thank you for my mods, and thank you for my super chat. And I love all my friends here so much. And we're getting through the season together. And as the editors go on, we learn things and things get revealed, and our attitudes towards people shift and whatnot, because we don't know these people very well. So we're judging books by their cover at first. Oh, look, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. The L is for Lebanese. Tee. If you want to Venmo me, because you feel like, yeah, honey, I've been giving you some sort of real monetary advice. You can. There's no L in it, So I dropped the L for Venmo. Other than that, I have a private Facebook group, and that's called Vanity Farah, and I always post before I go live and post fun things throughout the week. And other people post things, what's happening, and we can really talk about it there too. That exists. And yeah, other than that, I love you guys so much again. And my outro goes like this. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Okay? I really am sending you my vibes, honey, to have the best week. Just kill it. Okay? Thank you for being here. Share, please thumbs up this video. Please like this video. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right, baby boos. I love you. Bye.